everybody. It's the Kesha Seti Show. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, so are you guys in your feels? Are you excited? This weekend is completely dedicated to our mothers. Everyone that stands in the gap of being a mother takes on that motherly role model, that figure for any particular person. If you're a caregiver acting as a mother, an aunt acting as a mother, a dad acting as both, we salute you. You can see at the bottom of the screen that our focus today on this episode is going to be gratitude. Gratitude. Let that sit for a little bit. Gratitude. You know, I am so thankful for so many things. I'm thankful for my daughter, of course. I'm thankful for the opportunity to even be a mother. Um, it's just been a journey, and it's one like no other. I was chatting with a person a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about their child and certain obstacles that they were kind of working through with behaviors, and it's just all part of growing pains. And they mentioned that it's funny because we're so excited when we find out we're having a kid, especially if it's our first kid, and then you get this baby, you get this whole human at the end of 9 months, and it's like, "Oh my goodness, now what?" Right? It comes a little easier for some of us. Some of us, we stumble along the way, but we find our way, and we figure it out along the way, with our village and our support systems, but they don't come with a manual. They really don't come with a manual. However, that journey is so rewarding. And I think part of that journey is just learning and, you know, um, developing and growing alongside and evolving alongside your child. But if you don't have any kids and you're not a mother and you're not caring for anyone in a mother role, you have a mother. Whether they're still here with us or they're not here with us anymore, or your relationship is not the strongest, you do have a mother, and so, or a person that may have stood in the gap and acted as your mother. So I want to salute everyone in that role and talk about not only parenting and the struggles, but how we take some of these, I call them generational curses, or these cyclic parenting skills, and we really don't understand why, right? All we know is that it's our normal, is how we were raised. And so, you know, spanking, for example, if you grew up back in the day, um, may or may not have been part of your disciplinary standards. You may have received spankings, you may not have received spankings. Some of us as kids, when I was at my grandparents' house, I could tell you, and I was cutting up, being a little spoiled brat, Granny would say, "Go get that switch." Y'all already know what that means, right? Go get that switch. That means you better go pick a switch off the tree, bring it back, and you know what time it is. Now, in 2024, you are not telling no child to go get a switch off a tree, because there's people that will handle you in a certain way if you do that. And we're going to leave that at that. But back in the day, the parenting style was completely different. If you got out of line, you dealt with it. But I can't say that because of that, like, you learned at an early age right from wrong. You knew when you were overstepping those boundaries as a child, and you knew how to fall back in line. Some may disagree. That's fine. This is the Kesha Said It show, so I'm gonna say it. Some of you may be scared to say it, and you're thinking it, and you're like, "Yep, that was my grandparents, or that was my parents." So this is that forum to do that. This is the Kesha Said It show. So we say things that may be unpopular opinion, may be frowned upon, may not be liked, but it is what it is because it's gonna be said, right? So just thinking back to my childhood, like, there were moments, and I'm not saying I was a bad kid. I was a good kid. I was just a kid, though. Children do certain things that children do. It is what it is. But I had to go get that switch. My grandparents was like, "You gonna get in line today. You thinking you growner than you are. You got a little smart mouth." And it really helped me appreciate that. But I bring it to 2024 full circle. And my kid is in a stage of transition where she is preteen, right? And so sometimes I think the preteen stage could be a bit more challenging than the actual teen stage, but I could be wrong. Some of you people out there with teens, you can chime in. But I feel like now is the smart mouth, now is the opinionation, now is her telling me what she is going to do and not going to do. And we're having tough conversations. And it may be a little yelling in there. It may not be a little yelling in there, but we deal with it. We talk about it, we process it, and I am not a parent, I'm one of those ones that, um, first of all, I have a really good kid. I don't have to spank my child, but I'm not a person that's going to spank my child. Like, that's just something that I'm not going to do. Even though I was a kid that got spanked, in my parenting, I made a choice to not spank my child. Um, And I mean, I think you parent each child differently. If I had a second child and they were a little bit awry and different, maybe I would have spanked that child. I don't know. But this particular kid is a very, very good kid. I'm blessed and we haven't had to go there. So, talking, we have a lot of conversations. We have a lot of tough conversations. We discuss, but you got to understand my background, and this is kind of what I do for a living. So it allows me that privilege to be able to parlay that into my home. So I want to know, like, why do you feel like you don't have to listen to mommy and daddy's rules? Why do you feel like you want to raise your voice? Like I said, it may work on some kids, it may not, but that's just how we run our household over here, and it works for us. But going back to what I was saying in regards to generational curses, some parenting styles that may be frowned upon now that weren't frowned upon maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago, are still carried into 2024. You still have parents that believe in that, and it works for their household. So this isn't a parenting episode. This is just talking about how, being a parent can be a bit stressful, and kind of formulating ways to kind of handle that, because this is Mother's Day and I know I put my mom through some situations where she was like, little girl, little girl, little girl, if you wasn't a child, you know, uh, she's old school. Her and my dad are both old school. And I know that I probably pushed them to their limits at times, and they handled it appropriately. And there wasn't a lot of talking, though. I could say that there was not a lot of talking. It was, you understand, you're not going to do this again. If I get one more call from this teacher about your behavior, yada, 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 yada. So I show my mom a lot of gratitude because of that, because I know if I had to have me as a child today, I probably would have a whole head of gray hair. But I'm a good product, though. I'm a good product. I think I came out pretty good. So I think they did good. I'm gonna pivot that back to, that's because of their amazing, amazing parenting skills. So, put in the comments like some things, if you're a parent right now, what are some things that you use in your parenting that your parents didn't do? Or if there's some things that's carried on from when you were a child and you're utilizing some of those same techniques as a parent. So, I feel like Mother's Day is, and Father's Day too, is an underrated holiday. It's just like, yay, happy Mother's Day. Some people go all out. Some people give a card and they say thank you and they move on. And that's fine too. But I feel like being a parent should be celebrated every day. Like, the task that we have as a mother and a father, and I'm going to speak a lot on mother because I am a mother. I can't speak about being a father because I've been blessed to have my husband in the home, and that has really gone above and beyond in his role as a father. So we'll talk about that on Father's Day, or I'll let him talk to you guys about Father's Day. He'll do a Father's Day episode. But from a mother's perspective, like we do a lot. You know, we some of us work full time jobs, careers, and then we come home and we take that hat off and we put on a hat that really doesn't ever come off, but it just goes underneath that work or career hat. And we take that career hat off and boom, here we are. We're Ubering, we're lifting these kids to various appointments, we're taking them to various engagements, we're um, mobilizing them to certain extracurricular activities or having to attend this after a full day's work. Um, and then on the weekends, we get up and we do it again. Some days I have friends that are in tournament sports with their kids, and their whole weekend is traveling with the team and going through these tourneys, whether it be volleyball, whether it be track, whether it be softball. It's just the never ending grind. And so I feel like a lot of times, mom, and it was like this with my mom too. Like my mom taxied us everywhere. My brother was in baseball, my sister was on the dance team. I was in choir and theater and ran track and all that. And so she had 3 kids. Now, mind you, I don't know if I could do this times 3, but she made it happen. And then she still found time to come home every day and cook a healthy, full course dinner. Like we rarely ever ate out. Mom cooked every night. There was always um, a entree, 2 sides, some rice, a starch, all that on the table at night. So I think we're spoiled right now because I'm not gonna lie, I don't come home and cook every night. I can't. I just don't have the energy to do it, especially after working all day and then having to, attend either a musician practice or something like that. And then my kids getting ready to get into track and volleyball. And so we're getting into middle school sports and it's just about to get real crazy. So I can't even imagine having to come home and cook a full course meal. So shout out to my mom because she's the real MVP. I love my mom. She's my best friend still to this day. Um, and I will say that my husband, he stands in the gap a lot. Like he has done a lot of Ubering as well when I could not do it. So shout out to him for being a MVP as well. Love me some him. Love me some him. He get double. But we take on a lot as a mom. So, show gratitude within reason how you can show your mother gratitude. I spoil my mom. Like I said, she's my best friend. I love her. She's my twin, or I'm her twin. And I try to spend a lot of time with her. I actually did a Mother's Day brunch before Mother's Day, like just because I felt like it. Like I missed her and my mother-in-law. And I have 2 mother-in-law. I have 2 mothers, not mother-in-laws, Lord Jesus. 2 mothers. Like my mother-in-law is my mom. I've been blessed in that area too. Just a lot of blessings. God loves me. Favorite child, God. Um, and so, like, I've missed them because, the last probably year and a half, I've been like really, really working, 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 working. And I haven't been afforded like weekends. Sometimes I work on weekends. And so my schedule's just been kind of all over the place. So I haven't really had the time to do the Betty Homemaker stuff that I have time to do now. And so that just really excites me. So as soon as I got settled and had some shifting around in my schedule, and now I have my weekends back, first thing I did was I had a brunch for my 2 moms and my daughter, and we just sat and relaxed and ate and caught up. And so I like to show them gratitude all the time because they are very huge in my life and my daughter's life, and I want my daughter to see the generations of love and what it is like to not only be mothered, but to be a mother and to see that in various generations. So shout out to my mother-in-law. She is an amazing mother to my husband and my brother-in-law. There's no one like her in this world. She was afforded the life of stay-at-home mom, and I absolutely love that because she was able to pour into my brother and my brother-in-law and really, really be a great foundation for them. So she's produced some great men, and she's amazing. And so I like to give her and my mom flowers while they're here. because one day they won't be here, unfortunately, and I'm going to miss them dearly, and my life will forever change and be different. So I definitely want to spend every waking moment, hour I can celebrating them. So spending that time this weekend, it's Mother's Day weekend. Whether you have big plans to go out there and fight the crowds and the energy that it takes to get on a reservation list and then be serviced and hope that the customer service is good, or you decide we're going to do this at the crib and we're just going to chill and we're going to vibe and we're going to cook and we're going to talk and we're going to be comfortable and cash and just enjoy the actual day and each other. However, you choose to celebrate, make it a great one and show them the gratitude that they deserve, with whoever you decide to. Yeah. We have a brief interruption, technical difficulties. My animal is in here with me while I'm recording, and they feed off each other. And so he can see out of the window. I told y'all it's going to be real deal, right? It's going to be real deal. And so he sees the postman walking up the pathway to deliver a package. And guess what? He does not like the postal service. He does not like UPS. He does not like anyone. He doesn't like little kids. I mean, he's just at a point in his age where he doesn't like anybody but us. So, and the cleaning lady, I will say this, he loves our cleaning lady. When she comes here, we don't exist. He follows her around the house. So, yeah, my apologies for that short technical difficulty and the barking. But yeah, he does not like people coming up to the door. So I digress. But celebrating your person this weekend. Hopefully, out in this area, we'll have some good weather. I don't know. They're saying it's supposed to storm and rain, so be safe out there. Um, but I think the key takeaway of this episode and what I kind of wanted to deep dive into was the word gratitude. Sometimes we get caught up in our day to day, our lives, and we get busy and we take a lot for granted. And I think it's very important to acknowledge and celebrate those that really go out of their way to make us feel special, to make us feel loved, to make us feel that there's a genuine connection and that we are part of their life, their circle, and their spirit. So, um, giving little things, it doesn't have to be any huge, you know, feat. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be something small, like a single flower to show, hey, you are appreciated, you are loved. Real life experience, went to the nail shop yesterday. I started my pampering experience on yesterday. Um, and went to my nail shop, immediately was greeted by the owner with a rose and a card to just say, you are appreciated, you are loved. We thank you not only for your business, but your loyalty to us. It's little things like that. And I tell you, this rose is so beautiful. It's a beautiful shade of lavender. And I mean, at the end of the day that I had yesterday, it really warmed my heart. Like it warmed my spirit. You would have swear that I walked in and got a dozen of long stem lavender roses handed to me. Because just as I mentioned on the last episode that I did, the welcome back episode, I talked about how things can kind of change the trajectory of your day. Well, I was having a day from a not so pleasant place. It was a bit much, like, it was a lot of hustle and bustle and it was just a lot of work, a lot of tasks being done, and then I knew I had to get things kinda set up for this weekend, so I had some anxiety about that, like, where am I gonna find the time? But, it worked itself out. The universe aligned. I got everything done, but by the time I got to my appointment, I was drained. I was like, "Put me in the chair, give me a glass of wine, put my feet in the water, and just let me go to sleep. I don't want you to talk to me. I just wanna be in my zone. I wanna zen out. I wanna be left alone." So, she presented us, she was giving everybody at the single moment that I walked in the shop, that was the time that she was passing out the cards and the roses, and let me tell you, my complete attitude changed. I was talking to my nail tech while she was doing my nails, which, after the day I had yesterday, you would think, "Oh my goodness, I just don't wanna talk to nobody." but I was talking to her. We were laughing. We were talking about her plans for the weekend, which was great. Her daughter's graduating from high school today. And that was, like she said, one of the biggest blessings and perfect Mother's Day gift on Mother's Day weekend. Your daughter's graduating and headed to college. Like, how awesome is that? So we were talking about her plans for that and how, she's been really, really busy and doing her daughter's hair and nails for prom previously. So I somehow got some energy because of a single act of gratitude. Single act of gratitude, right? It does not have to be huge. It can be small. And we need that sometimes as humans. We need to feel appreciated, loved, thanked. We need that. Okay. I'm not saying you got to be thankful for me every day, but dang, once a month, maybe we could do once a month. So just give gratitude, be kind, and you know that it is all about prosperity and reserving our peace and our love and our strength because we want to focus on our internal mental health and taking care of ourselves. So when people show us acts of kindness, that makes us feel good about ourselves and it boosts our self esteem, which therefore helps promote healthy mindfulness of ourselves. We want to always protect our peace and our mental health. So I'm hoping that this weekend for you all is a weekend, whether you're being celebrated or you're celebrating someone else, that it allows you the time to reflect and respond and get some rest and be peaceful with those that you love. Because that's what life is all about. That's what we need. Showing gratitude to each other, receiving gratitude from others. If you're not a mother, you're not a mother and you're not the one being celebrated, but you're celebrating someone else, them showing you gratitude and that it's reciprocated and you feeling loved as well. So it's not just a weekend about mothers, but it's a weekend about gratitude and appreciation. All right, guys. So I feel like I've rambled so much today. And yes, I'm not on the camera. So I guess I'll address that too. But I'm finding that I'm really liking the vibe is like completely different when I'm not on camera. I feel like when I'm on camera, I focus too much about the quirks and the mannerisms and the attentiveness to the screen and what's in the angle of the screen and is it the appropriate angle, all that. And I feel like I waste too much time or that may affect the outcome of the episode. So I'm really liking it to be a verbal podcast these last couple of episodes, but I don't know. I mean, I probably will come back on the screen. I'm going to grace y'all with this face. Um, I'm gonna grace you with the face, but I don't know if it'll be every episode. It may be hit or miss. It may be twice a month face, twice a month no face, but I really like that because I don't focus on that at all. And I actually do go back and listen to my episodes because when you're recording them, you're not really like you're speaking from the heart, you're speaking from the spirit, you're speaking from the mind. And I always like to go back and listen to them, and I want to get a whole word too. I may listen to it 2 weeks from now, a week from now, and be like, "Oh, that was a good episode," or be like, "Oh, I should have put a little more depth in that episode." So, I do appreciate the verbal only podcast. I like that. So, drop a line and see if it makes or break the episode. If you appreciate that, or it really doesn't matter, you know. Either way, I'm gonna come and continue to bring you content. Haha, and y'all thought I was gonna miss out this week because I didn't drop it on Thursday, right? I'm back. I told y'all I'm being consistent. I'm back. And that's another thing, like putting forth all of the I could just pop on here and just talk. Like, not saying that I won't put forth the effort, but like when you're on camera, like I gotta make sure my face is made, or I may just throw on a baseball hat, but I could just come in here, get my cup of coffee, and just vibe and talk. And that's what it's all about. We just want to vibe and talk. So I really like this format, but we'll see how it goes. But I just really want to leave you guys with gratitude. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being a great human. If no one has told you, it's recognized and it's appreciated Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend. If you have not yet watched last week's episode, what are you waiting for? Now, I did go back and listen to last week's episode, and I liked it. It was good. It was a whole word. Like, I felt like I was taking myself to church when I went back and listened to that episode. So, if you have not yet listened to it, go ahead and tune in. One of my girls called me and she said, "Girl, I listened to that while I was working out. It was a whole word, and it made my workout go by really, really fast." So, you don't have to sit and hold the phone. You can be working on a whole nother computer. You can be driving to work. You could be running errands. You could be waiting in line at the grocery store or waiting in the curbside pickup line. You could be working out. Just listen to the episode. Click like. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. Promote the show. Tell a friend. Phone a friend. So, any way that we could grow my followers would be great, and I would definitely show you gratitude. I might do a campaign where, people with the most rec- uh, referrals and subscriptions, they drop a line who referred them to watch the podcast. Hey, you never know, some prizes may be coming out. I am in the process of lining up some guests for you guys because there's some awesome topics that I'd like to bring in and just have a conversation about um, with some others. So, always open to um, the public for what do you want to talk about. Drop some topics. I'll be happy to address them. So I'm not going to keep you because I really do have a busy schedule today. And I just wanted to make sure that I was consistent with you all. And this is not pre playing content. I actually just got on the mic, got me some coffee, and just said, we're going to focus on gratitude. So, anywho, anyhow, without further ado, I appreciate you. And as always, it's the Kesha Seti Show. Peace.